Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Dog Name Podcast, Part 2.
We're
I
back.
don't even know if I should say that. I don't even think I should say Part 2. I think I should have this be a separate episode, right?
Just two guests back, the same guests back to back, though.
Yeah, maybe. Well, welcome to the welcome to the Dog Name Podcast. We're here again with Matilda Epstein, very funny, amazing comedian, great friend. We were just in Baltimore, Maryland for 5 shows at the Port Comedy Club. Very fun. Jack did guest spots on a couple of them. He picked the 2 worst ones to do. Still good shows, but
The first one was good.
well, the first one was a
It
good
was just not
show.
that full.
But here's like the first one was good. I think that first show was the worst show of the weekend.
Not the second. Oh, you had more fun on the second show. The second show was objectively worse.
I think there's less people at the second show, but I do think that crowd, like individually, those 20 people
We're better than
than if
the
you separated the
65
yeah,
people
on
at
the
the other
on the
one,
early
like,
show.
I guess
Yeah.
you're right. Like if you multiply that
'Cause
audience,
because I felt like I think if we could do that audience times 3, because the shows were crazy. Because I saw the actual numbers. I think Thursday was like 40 people. We did 60 something early Monday, or 50 something early Friday, 20 on the late show Friday, which is more than I thought. I sold out the early Saturday, and then the late Saturday was like 60 something people. So it ended up being like really good crowds. I feel really good about those sales for August. And then also with like I'm still trying to figure out the ads. Ads are really hard to
Yeah.
do. I've gone live on Instagram, and I'm gonna do it again tonight after shows. I think I'm just gonna go live literally every single day. I used to think that shit was so cringe, and I used to think it was so embarrassing. But doing it, I didn't feel embarrassed, and I didn't feel cringeworthy because I'm not being corny or anything on it. It has actively helped me sell tickets every day that I've done it.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
I did it.
I think it's only corny to people who are like we might think it's corny because we'll see a notification that's like so and so went live, and it's someone that like we're not interested in tuning in for.
Yeah.
But you have people who are,
Yeah.
so they're like, oh, cool, I'm gonna join this.
They want to see me, and it's like, and I'm not bringing people on the live. I'm literally just answering questions, doing stuff, trying to be funny. But it was like on, sorry, so Thursday when I first did it, I sold. I know for a fact there was at least 2 people that popped in like, hey, when are you coming to this city? And I'm like, oh, I'm going. And like, oh, tickets secured. So it's like, damn, I sold like 3 tickets on Thursday. Friday it was about 7 or 8 tickets to different because it's different because what's happening is I'm getting on the lives, and I think the algorithms for Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram are so bad now that they are not putting your shit in front of your actual followers really anymore. And so if you're advertising anything like ticket sales or whatever, they want you to spend money to boost the post, or they want you to run ads. Whereas if you go live, because like there's so many times where it's like I know for a fact that's going to happen. I'm going to post a clip in the next few days, and someone's going to be like, "When are you coming to Baltimore?" Like it's literally like it's happened for because so I was on the thing, and there were like on Friday and yesterday is people being like, I had people be like, when you coming to Detroit? And I was like, I was just in Detroit, and then I got them to join my email list so that it can happen, so that I can reach out to them again. But it is really interesting to be like have people like I had people Instagram DM me the confirmation of them buying tickets. So it's like on those 3 days going live. So for 3 hours of going live, I think I sold an additional 15 tickets across a bunch of different
I
markets.
bet you it has something to do with people wanting to tell you that they're going and have you be like, awesome, I can't wait to see you.
Yeah,
like that's
I
like
do.
a fun element.
I think it's a fun, and I try to respond to like to all the stuff in there. But there is a lot of people like that are like, oh, when are you coming here? Like people just don't read the tour post. Like they really don't
Yeah.
read the poster. Like, because I think you have to get to a certain level of famous where people are going to do that work on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like because there's plenty of people that I think musicians and stuff and comics before stand up that I liked, where if they directly told me, hey, I'm coming to your city this date, I'd be like, oh, I'll get a ticket for that. But if I saw they were on tour, I wouldn't look to be like, oh, when are they coming to this thing? And then I think you get to a certain level of like, if you're like a Mulaney or a Chappelle or anyone like that, when they drop a new tour, you're like, let's see.
Yeah.
When
I have
they're
to be
bring-
such a big fan of someone to be
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna go to their like website and see
Yeah.
what the tickets look like for my city. Like,
and have to get it, and like also the type of famous where people, because I do think at a certain point you have to like find a way to sell out and have people be disappointed they can't see you.
true.
Like it's
Yeah.
really weird because there's a lot of people that will wait for like because I'll be open about ticket sales stuff like I get my ticket counts every Wednesday from my management team, and so on this past Wednesday, the day before the show, they sent it to me, and my numbers were legitimately kind of abysmal for Baltimore, where I was like pretty nervous about it. Like to where like if Wednesday was the end of ticket sales, I would have sold 70 tickets across 5 shows. It's like, but like day of, me going live, me putting a little bit more money in ads to get it in front of people, and then like Matt at the port, he also did promo and sent his email list out and stuff like that. I went from selling 70 to like, I think in 3 days I sold like an additional almost 200 tickets.
That's
Like,
awesome.
but it's really interesting to where it's like, but I think that you almost need to like somehow find a way to get to a thing to where, and I hate this because I would rather everyone that wants to see me get to see me, but like you almost have to be like, oh man, like Winston's like, you have to have like, not, you have to not just sell 500 tickets to sell at the room 5 times. You have to be like 500 tickets and then 200 people being like, fuck, I can't believe it. So that next time when it drops, they're like, we have to get the tickets now. Like there has to be, you have to be a threat of people not getting your ticket
Create some urgency
in order to do it or whatever. I mean, where do you think you could sell the most, Jack? Because you said you have like a few things. Like, do you have an email list right now, Matilda? We got to get you
Nah.
better on the business
I know.
portion of the stand-up stuff.
Yeah.
It's not the thing. I feel like it took me going viral to realize that I needed to do it, but it's nice to have it like set up. It's also
Yeah.
really easy to have it set up.
Yeah, because I think even if you don't have merch, like if you don't do that, like because you're also someone that's like, which I respect, is you're trying to run to other spots and stuff too.
Yeah, I'm scurrying.
Yeah, but like I mean, I think it'd be beneficial with you because it's just like, because I use you a lot on the road, but like Jack's gonna be doing a lot more because we're gonna be doing podcast and filming stuff. So it's like your fiance's kind of like wiggled his way and like,
And
It
just
cut-
to be
cut
clear,
you
that's why, not because of movie.
Yeah, no. no. Well, you're good enough. You're definitely good enough to feature, but I generally just like using really funny women. Like
No,
it
I-
is just
I
like
actually
Yeah, it's a
totally
good
agree.
balance.
yeah, like a thing where I think it's just a great balance because 9 times out of 10 the club is gonna give me a male host.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because there is more male comics, so it's like I totally get it.
Yeah.
And so, but off the Kevin Hart show, it's not just that I like people. I like when everyone's talking about different stuff on the show, and like with you, we don't talk about the same shit at all. Like even though we're both from the
There's
South,
a little crossover lately.
like
actually.
a little bit, like what? What are we crossing over on?
The medical insurance stuff, and then there was another.
Yeah, but
thing-
everybody talks about health stuff. That's not
right.
even
No,
like
it's actually also just right now. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have
yeah.
a joke about it that I haven't done on your shows,
Yeah.
but
But like I don't, I want there to be as little crossover because even if it's like our perspectives and point of views are so different on stuff, like even with that, you like, generally like, oh, that could be a different, if you have a female feature or whatever, it's just like if they're really good, the crossover would be different. But also like off the Kevin Hart show, I have like a lot more female fans.
yeah.
It's
Yeah. That's fun.
I have a lot of couples coming to my shows. Like it's like last night it was like for the sold out one, I would say it was like it was literally like 30 couples waiting in line to see
Yeah.
me.
I
And
think
You're a
so-
good
comedy's
couples
absolutely
act.
thirsty for a wholesome wife guy.
yeah.
I think you're a good like couples act because it's not ever gonna be like one person like dragging their partner
Yeah,
there.
I don't
to,
drag
like-
I don't drag my wife. I don't like, if I do jokes about women, I also do jokes about men. It's like it's not insanely vulgar, but it's also
Yeah.
not the type of clean where like you get bored. Like it's like but it's been really but to trying to make sure I'm not forgetting what I was saying. But yeah, but it's the type of thing with like you're definitely gonna, but I generally would like to use, so like we've opened a lot together, but I think for you and you specifically when we're working together, like when we're doing like actual road stuff where you're not running to other spots or whatever, like I think it would be really beneficial for y'all, like even if you don't have merch, to be set up like almost like after me, because that's how I would always do the merch stuff, where it's like when I would feature for people, they would talk to the headliner first
Mhm.
and then catch me on the way out or whatever. And like I have merch, which is great, but I also would get people when I was featuring to join my email list, because it's just the type of thing where it's like, because for you to, the next step is like eventually you want to, when we're on the road doing stuff, is you want to do so well and make the type of connections to where like they can either have you come back to feature, or like maybe you get to headline on an off night, or like, oh, maybe you meet someone to like headline a smaller room when you come back to town. And like even if you're not at the point where you're selling a shitload of tickets, being like, oh cool, I got 12 people on my email list because they liked me so much when I opened for Winston, that like now that's 12 tickets I can sell if I come and do like like a don't tell, you know what I mean, or
Yeah.
something silly like that, to just type of build the. And I wish I'd have known how important that was, because I started my email list like literally with the Kevin Hart thing.
Yeah. Is
which
that,
is
like-
something I should have been doing for years.
I guess, is email list like a lot more effective than just like posting on Instagram?
Yes.
Interesting.
I think the most effective one is like the text list.
Yeah.
But I do think people are like real. Like I just feel weird asking people for their phone numbers.
Yeah.
But like you can do some of the things where they'll put their phone number in or put their email in. But it's like I think it's I think I've sold way more tickets off of an email list.
I think
than
if they
have.
go through the steps to sign up for an email list, then
Yeah.
they're more likely to come
They'll
anyway.
Yes.
actually come.
I did the first time I sent an email to my email list.
Yeah.
I didn't BCC, so everyone like got it.
So you gave
and
everyone
people
each
were like
other's emails.
replying, and
Oh,
I was
that's
like,
awesome.
"Oh god!"
Oh,
Like
that's
they were
so
hitting
funny.
like reply.
It's
all.
literally
You
the
made a
worst
group
thing you
chat.
could have ever done.
Yeah.
You literally did the one thing you should not do with an email list, and you
Yeah.
did it the first.
I
the fir-
truly don't know. At the time, I don't know email that well because I've never had an office job,
Yeah.
so I never
I don't
really
know
had to worry about like
email.
I don't know email.
BCCing or anything. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, because that's what it's like. I was using this site called Beacons, and I think by the time this episode comes back, I'll have switched over to PunchUp.live.
oh, you're going to get on Punch Up.
Yeah, I'm switching to PunchUp. I had a call with them. They're really cool.
I've heard such good things about
You can
Punch
run
Up.
ads through them. They're cheaper than my current ads person. We're moving away from that ads person to someone else. Like, there's other things they have. They're a great email collecting site. It's like there's no yearly charge to be on it like Beacons is.
It was started by a comic, right?
Yeah. So he's a guy from here. He's like from I don't know if but he's like originally from near Falls Church. So we
Yeah.
had like a call and stuff like that.
I remember like New York comics being like, "We're hopping on Punch Up Live. We don't know what the fuck it is. How
Yeah.
it's gonna work. But we're gonna help our friend out." And
Yeah.
then now it's like most of the biggest acts.
Yeah, and I
especially
think
out of New York.
it works too. And there's like and they have like a real what they try to do is it's basically like I will no longer be posting my tour dates on bands in town. Like it's like you post on Punch Up Live and that gets and they handle that. Like so they're basically like we're bands in town and we're also an ads management thing and we're also a link tree. Like they're all this
Oh,
stuff.
that's nice. Just
But I
does
would-
all of it in one.
Yeah, but I was using Beacons and I liked Beacons a lot because Beacons has you never have to worry about there's no BCC because it's like their email thing is I'm not manually sending the email. They give me a form. I typed up the form of what I want sent. I clicked a button. It told me like I said I want so I'd be like, all right, this is my Detroit one. And it's like, all right, well then I want to send an email to everyone on my email list that's within 50 miles of Detroit. And so it pulls those names up and it just automatically sends those out. And I think PunchUp.live is the same thing.
Mine's a Google Doc, not very efficient because also
Yeah.
people type in what cities they're in, and a lot of people are like they either they use like the acronym or
Yeah.
they spell it wrong or they don't put the state or
Uh,
they
dude,
spell
that
out
means-
the state.
I mean, I think on
Yeah,
my
it's
email list of
weird.
like I think I'm close to like 2,000 emails on my email list now, and I would say only 1,600 of them put all the information they were supposed to put
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it's better than nothing. It definitely it's like I mean like also for like DC it was really helpful for like my email list to be like for like selling out those shows on a Wednesday. And like it really helped in Nashville because there's definitely certain cities, but it's just trying to get people to do that. And I think with the Instagram Live, because with the IG Live, there's an option to put a link at the bottom. So like I can put my
Oh.
email list link at the bottom and
Mm.
tickets. So I'm talking to people I'm like, just click right now if you want to go there.
Yeah.
Click right here and do that. But
Just
like-
making it easy for them.
yeah, because like I mean, like you're both at the point now where it's like you should be traveling more. You're gonna be doing traveling more. I'm gonna try to get you on more stuff in 2027 because Jack has been like. He'll, if we can figure out travel stuff, he'll come and do
Yeah.
like guest spots and stuff, and you can feature and we can swap or do whatever we need to do. But like, what do you guys want to do? Like, what's the, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
need to
what's
get I need to get the like business end of stuff moving more, I think, and it's always like the
yeah.
push to do more on social media because I do feel like I've been in like a I don't know. I feel like I've been in a holding pattern at the
Yeah.
same kind of like level
Well,
of like
Like I'm legit surprised y'all don't have a podcast, or at least have like even if not a podcast, having a setup of like there's a lot of people that do fake podcasts.
yeah.
Where it's like you guys do the stuff to just get the clips, to post the clips together
Yeah.
type of thing. Is that like a thing where like you actively don't want to do creative stuff together?
We've talked about it a bit. I think that like I feel like I'm worried that the way that we're like funny together, I think is funny, but is like not necessarily kind of like my like brand of my comedy or something, if that makes sense. Like I feel
she's
like
actually a little darker when it's just her and I. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of different, and I think I'm less dumb.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. The way she looked at me.
like I don't know. I just think
I was harping on this for the first couple of years we were dating.
Yeah.
I don't
And she
think
was like, I don't know.
But I get like not wanting to do a podcast because that's a big time commitment, and then it's like that is bringing like a huge work thing into a relationship. But like, there's so many people that do. There's so many things where like the setup looks like a podcast, but
Yeah.
it's literally them just being like a big one now is like, have you seen like the like draft things where it'll be like it's two people and then a third person, and it would be like if we were sitting here and Jack was like, all right, guys, you're doing a blind draft of your favorite fast food restaurants. You each have $20 to spend. And then he would say random stuff where he'd be like, Wendy's. And I'd be like, oh, I bid $4 for Wendy's.
Mhm.
And then you bid $5, and you have $20 to spend. But it's like, it's set up to look like a podcast, but you go to those people's page, it's just a dude doing,
It's
like,
just
you
the
know what I mean?
clips,
Like,
yeah.
there's a way
Yeah.
to do stuff to just set up for clips, or like if you guys had like a funny bit you wanted to run, like Dwayne White's been doing it where it looks like he's doing a podcast, but it's someone asking him a question to set up one of his jokes.
Mm.
And so he's just doing his bit from like one camera angle, but it sounds like a podcast thing.
One-
But it's been popping off pretty good on TikTok. But like there's
yeah.
a lot of different ways I think to do. But I meant more just like, I'm surprised you guys don't do something creative together because of both of your individual skill sets. Like, you're both funny, but like also there's stuff like you have a unique style, he has a unique style. He's also like you don't need to bring in a videographer to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
that's
it
the main thing.
yeah, like you can just do it. Like, there's so many stuff
Yeah.
that you guys can do. But I didn't know, because I know you guys don't really talk a ton of stand up and stuff, because we've talked about that. Like, how important is keeping the comedy thing separate from the relationship stuff to you? Like, because I feel like it's you that it matters more to, and I just was curious like about that and like
Yeah.
how you feel about it, like in general.
I think it's more like I just like kind of shut my brain off of it at like certain points. Like, I'm either like in stand-up mode or not.
Yeah.
And I feel like a big thing for me is like if I'm thinking about other stuff and then he wants to talk about like jokes or like stand-up stuff, I feel like I'm like like it like stresses me
Yeah.
out. Like I'm not thinking like
She
that
does
right
not
now.
bring
Like
her
I'm
work
like
home.
yeah, like I'm not. That's not what I'm thinking about right now.
Like a lot
and,
of
like,
comics, it's the only thing she wants to do with her life, and she hates
Yeah.
Every minute of it, dude.
Like I don't know. I feel like kind of like yeah, like dissecting it also is like I'm down to, but I have to be in the right
Yeah.
headspace to do it.
That
so
being
I
said,
think
though, I have definitely kind of been encouraging to do a podcast together. At one point, we had talked about doing something that was kind of intricate, and then after talking about it for a while, we kind of both decided like maybe we shouldn't do this together because I don't want it to be this like weird stressful thing where it feels like maybe I'm forcing her or something, because we do have
Yeah.
I am trying to put everything online. And you were talking about like you're not really leaning much into the business side or social media right now, but you are getting better at stand up all the time.
Yes.
And at a certain point, like those things, you'll just be forced to do those things. So
Yeah.
I don't really think it's that big of a deal. Like, I started doing a lot of that stuff because I was viral.
Yeah.
yeah, we had a cool idea though for like a project that was like kind of like a fake, not fake clips, but like segments.
Yeah.
That was like we were gonna dress up like old people who are like therapists. They're like
Yeah.
family therapists, and people write in.
Like a public
Um,
access
Yeah,
type show.
Yeah, sounds
like a
great.
PBS
Yeah.
thing where they're like really just like picture like an art teacher and like I don't know, like
'Cause,
a
like-
Bob Ross kind of guy.
Because
Like
I
where
just
they're
feel like with because I know like a lot of like stand up couples where it's just like they have rules about the thing where like I know certain stand up couples that are like, I don't want you in the room when I'm on stage. Like
Oh,
like
yeah.
you know what I mean? Just like it's like I don't want to like I don't want you to see me bomb. I don't want to see you bomb. I just want to like keep it separate. Or like, hey, I don't really want to talk workout. Like we all know people like that, but there's just so many different like comedy things that can. And I'm trying to get better at the stuff that isn't stand up.
Yeah.
Like that's
Mhm.
because I think that like when you went viral, you're forced to do more of the other stuff that isn't just stand up. But what you're doing is closer to what I was doing, which is just trying to get as good at stand up as you
Yeah.
possibly can.
just taking every opportunity I can.
Yeah.
But it's hard to. It's like you,
But
you
I-
need the social media to get
Yeah.
more of them.
But I
so.
think if you started doing stuff like that, and it doesn't even have to be a podcast, it could be the idea you had. It could be something as silly as like, I mean, I really think, I mean, you have the joke about your last name being Epstein, but there is a thing where it's just like you could literally have a podcast called The Epstein Files. And it's, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just like you talking about stuff, or like you sitting in a chair and like doing like a one of your bits or whatever, the Epstein Files, or like
releasing my
something where
lists.
it's like where you guys are both dressed in beach clothes or whatever, and it's just called Epstein's Island. Like, there's a lot, like, there's just really dumb shit that's just to where the
and
hook.
we won't include my name at all.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, that's.
We're getting married. You can become an Epstein.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Right now we're trying to help her. You're already doing the stuff that you need to do.
I was explaining this to Winston that like you're not taking my name, and your parents were like, "Are you sure you don't have to keep Epstein around?"
Yeah, Matilda Schwartz. Matilda Epstein Schwartz.
Yeah, my friends were like, "Do you guys like hyphenate?" And I was like, "I don't think like it just sounds too much like a dentist's office or something."
Schwartzsteins.
Like, Epstein Schwartz
is like
that's
we don't
Epstein
need
and
that.
Schwartz.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Amanda didn't really take my name.
Didn't really.
No. I mean,
didn't at all.
Like, she hasn't changed her name or whatever, but she'll go by Miss Hodges and stuff. Like, it's like
that's
that's
the thing.
nice.
If we walk into a restaurant and they're like, "Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Schwartz," it's not like she's gonna be like, "Excuse me."
I think that's the thing, and it's also different because it's just like, I think for Amanda, hers is also important because like she's worked really hard to get where she is in her career.
Yeah.
And it's like,
It's
at a certain
annoying
point,
though,
it is a
like-
tough rebrand to be like, Matilda Schwartz is a different person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, as far as like, if you're looking at a piece of paper.
We literally work in a name recognition industry.
We really, really, really do. But like, yeah, I just think you guys are both at a point to where it's like, I would get the hesitation of, and I can't even imagine like dating and getting engaged or marrying a comic and being like trying to keep yourself separate, but also like, I mean, like you both should be using the resources that you know what I mean? That like,
I agree. I think we'll kind of adapt too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it is like, until you're married or know you're gonna get married, it's like, do I want to attach my career to this person?
Yeah, no,
Now
that
it's
is
like
also
we
a
might
really
as
fair
well.
point. That's something I
Yeah.
hadn't even thought about. Yeah.
That had kind of like occurred to us early on, where it's like, because you see so many. I mean, I don't know, couples start stuff together and then fully get divorced, but
Yeah.
also, but you know,
Yeah,
you
a
see a
lot
lot of
lately.
people
Yeah.
who like do stuff.
But I also
together
like
and
to
then
think that
break
like
up,
if
and
you're
it's
getting
like,
divorced and it's like, do you think that you're even like thinking about, I don't get to do the podcast
Yeah.
anymore?
I mean,
That's
Tom
so
and
true.
You know what I mean?
that's
Like, is
good.
that
Tom and Christina's situation right now is kind of crazy. I
Yeah.
watched
Yeah.
a podcast where Christina was like opening up about it to like Duncan Trussell, talking about the divorce. It's very strange. The whole
That's
thing's
pretty
strange.
like that's like the extreme though, where they've built like a whole like
It's like one of the biggest podcasts.
industry
Yeah.
around that. Like this is, you know,
giant
I'm sure a lot of
production
people are
company.
like, yeah, we have a podcast together, but
Yeah, because I just think y'all are also at like this. I think you're both also at this point in your career where it's like you could be doing more not glamorous road stuff, and like the fact that
Yeah.
you guys are together, it's the type of thing where it was like, if you were gotten more in the content creation stuff and the filming each other stuff and trying to like do the clips and shit, then it's like you guys could go like, you know, co-headline a next stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or like someone
that'd be great.
features someone headline, or like being like, oh, we should reach out to the small, because this is like advice I'd give to like any comic that's like, because like, what's the longest you think you could do on stage and do really well? Like
And
realistically,
do well.
like type of thing, like, hey man, I need you to kill for this amount of thing. Like, what amount are you doing where you're like, this is my best shot, like gun to your loved
Probably
one's head?
probably 30, but to be honest, I could make that 45 with, because I can do crowd work pretty
Yeah.
well. So
But
I could do 45 and have it be good.
Yeah, but realistically,
material
30 where you're like,
30.
hey, 30 want to kill.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about
yeah,
that?
probably same. Like 30 really good material,
Yeah.
and then like pad it with crowd work and goofing around.
No, which is
for
perfect
15
because you
minutes,
guys
like-
are both like at a point where, because I think a thing that a lot of like newer, and I hate saying newer but like comics when they're getting to the whatever term you want to call it, comics that are trying to move from the showcase spot and feature stage to
Yeah.
closing out shows, is trying to find the opportunities to headline. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, and it doesn't have to be great. Like, it's stuff where it's like, it could be like the Next Stop shows, which for those you don't know, Next Stop is like, it's a company, they're like Don't Tell, where the lineups are kind of secret, but they do breweries in more rural areas. Like, they're not really in the major cities and stuff. And they do host, feature, headliner, and a guest spot. But it's the type of thing where it's just like, you could be doing those, or like also just reaching out and trying to like headline bar shows in different cities.
Because it just gets you used to doing like
It
a
gets
long
you used to
set of,
doing it,
like-
and you'll never learn to do 45 until you just do it.
Yeah.
But also with both of you guys having two really good 30 minutes, it really is the type of thing where like if you start to build an online presence and then like you continue to build yours and you have the email list, it's like you can reach out to like a small venue in like say Raleigh or
Yeah.
say St. Louis, like wherever, and just be like, hey, like I think we could sell 40 tickets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I do. I think we sell
Yeah.
40 tickets, and it's just co-headlining with a local opener, and you're doing an hour of good stuff. But like, yeah, I just think you guys are both in this, like, you're just both in this weird career thing where you're like, you're getting married, you're both You're both funny.
But we're not that public about our relationship at all. I
Yeah.
think once we get
Are
married,
you
we're
nervous
gonna
about
open
that?
it up a little bit.
Do you think so, or are you just nervous about like would you be annoyed if you got on stage and you guys performed together and then people came up and were asking you about the other person? You know what I mean?
No,
Like, 'cause I've
I
never.
think that's always fun. I just like, yeah, I think I don't know. I think I'm coming to terms with, I think, part of kind of like my like brand and my comedy being like someone who is married.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like just a personal like
I think it's weirder as
thing
a
where I'm
woman.
like, yeah, I think it's
I
a little
agree.
weird to be like, I don't know, I like started doing stand up as like a young single girl, and like
Yeah.
all of my jokes are like, you know, about like dating and being like on, you know, it's like it's hot girl shit.
Are
and it's,
you
like,
nervous about like the term evolve makes it sound like the act previously wasn't good, but like when I use the term evolve, I mean like I just mean it purely as change.
Yeah.
Are you nervous about like the prospect of like, oh, my comedy now has to evolve?
Yeah, definitely. I think a little
Yeah.
bit of like just like, okay, here's because you're presenting who you are
Yeah.
in such a little package
Yeah.
when you do stand up, and I think I've gotten so used to like being like the package of being like I am a married woman in my 30s
Yeah.
to me is like a different package than like
But you're not just going to be a
You
married
know.
woman in your 30s. You're going to be a formerly in the streets hot girl shit woman who is now married.
Yeah.
Which
Right.
there is a lot of those women. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing is
It
it's
might
just
even
like you're
just change your demo.
Yeah. like you're that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying is like your audience, like I don't even think it's the type of thing where it's just like you have to realize like what's really interesting is like as you find your audience grows with you. So it's like you're like if you like that's like as you gain fans and followers, those people they're going to age and they're going to be like, oh, we loved her stuff because she was doing this hot girl shit and now she's married and now we're married
Yeah.
and now you can make jokes about how like, oh, I used to do these things and
Mhm.
now I can't do it. And
It's
also
like me and
with
Taylor
your
Swift.
yeah,
Both
very much
times
like
you
that.
described it as hot girl shit.
Well, she said hot girl
That's
shit.
what I
No,
said.
but that's like that is how I would describe it. Like that's
Yeah.
the ultimate simplification is like she has this thing. It's not on stage, but it's
Yeah.
like every restaurant she goes to with her friends, especially. She's really bad at selecting drinks. She always picks the grossest drink on the menu because she
Yeah.
thinks she wants to try it. And they've started to coin it a grossy for the table.
Yeah.
And it's a thing now where they go to a restaurant. She's in charge of ordering the grossest thing they can buy.
Yeah.
And they all pass it around and like
Mhm.
take little sips and like agree it's bad.
Yeah.
And like that is kind of like what I will look forward to her capturing that essence and stuff. But the biggest difference is when she posts a picture, it'll happen to me too.
Yeah.
But when she posts a picture of our wedding, she will lose 400 male followers.
That's possible.
My argument is
Even
that
personal,
those
like-
they weren't gonna come to shows.
Well, they
Yeah.
were, but they weren't going to come to not fuck you. Like,
Right.
they just-
or
Or,
even
like-
like personal, like if I posted pictures from my bachelorette and like lost followers just because it's like I think people follow off a stand-up clip and then they're like, I'm not like they don't have a parasocial relationship with
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
so
yeah.
they're like, who is this woman?
Yeah.
I don't care about her vacation.
But even if you post a stand-up clip, you're still gonna lose followers. Every
Yes.
time you post, you'll lose
Yeah.
followers. Once you have followers, like
Yeah.
you'll lose them every
Well, I
time.
mean, I look at my things and it's just like the key is like, are you still trending upwards?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it's like, but that's what you want to do. Like it's like, I look at it like, yeah, I mean, you have to pare the bad branches off of a tree. You know what I mean? Like as the, like as the tree grows, there's going to be new branches that come out, and yeah, some branches that have been on the tree for a long time are also going to fall off. But it's like, but that's how you keep a tree healthy, is
Yeah.
you prune the fucking bad shit. But yeah, not to just continue to harp on, I just do think there is like, I don't think that you should be scared of the evolution of what it
Yeah.
is. Because when you do your act now, there's nothing in it that I think you can't do because you're married.
no,
right.
I think it's more just
Because
like
you have jokes about it, but all those jokes are past tense jokes. It's not
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, I'm like actively doing these things.
they're
She's
just
got
the
engagement
vibe.
stuff.
It's just
Yeah.
the vibe of being
Yeah.
not being like.
Do you
Hi,
think it's
like
a
I'm
vibe?
also like a little single girl.
But do you
like,
feel that way as in like a, oh, it just sucks to get older? Like as a woman?
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm saying, like, is it, like
I'm
no,
so
for real?
glad you said it. I've been wanting to say that this whole time.
Yeah, like is it like
Yeah.
that type of thing about, because it's just like for me, I think it's just like that's like a sexist thing that obviously we don't have to deal with.
Exactly.
Because it's just, to me, it's the opposite, where it's just like I do think that as men get older, obviously I don't know, like I think I'm getting more followers. I feel more confident. I feel more
Mhm.
like, oh, like I'm getting smarter. Like I'm learning more stuff. It's like it's okay that I don't like weigh the same that I used to. You know what I mean? Like all these, like I don't look the same way I did. I'm not a young dude that's out here, or whatever. Is there that type of external pressure that do you feel that pressure as a woman of like, oh man, like I'm entering a different era, even though you're not old.
Yeah.
You're not. I get that you're
Yeah.
not an old person. Like but like, do you feel that with the marriage and with the stand-up thing?
Yeah, and I've said this to him before that I think in stand-up it's like, and I guess like entertainment broadly, people love a wife guy. Like you guys
Yeah.
are so much more like appealing and approachable
Yeah.
and relatable. But it's like a married woman. I feel like the connotation is like, okay, like boring, like old.
You're gonna have to be a
like,
husband girl.
I can't be a husband girl.
You gotta be a
Like,
husband
the
girl,
new-
dude.
Not a husband.
the
You're a hubby
husband-
girl.
The husband girl in like entertainment right now is like
Like trad wife.
I walk him like a dog and he is a wife guy. Like that's
Well,
like the
it
best
is
thing
funny.
you can do for
That is
yourself
really
in
funny.
terms of
You
your
can pay
image.
me in
and-
that
Because
way.
it is interesting because it's like
Yeah.
like when you use the term wife guy to me, it is interesting because it's like I don't really talk about Amanda that much on stage.
No.
Like it is an interesting thing
Yeah.
because I do think there's a lot of comics that like either drag their wives or they talk about their wives, and mine is like I think Amanda gets brought up maybe 3 times a show.
The Netflix show though made it very public.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
a
it
lot
made
of
it
your
very public.
followers, like they know who she is.
Yeah, exactly, and so it is interesting because it's just like because when I think wife guy, it's a guy that's like he's always talking about his wife. He's always, you know what I mean, like always doing this stuff. And we're like, because I was thinking about the other day, like my act, and I'm like, well, I mentioned that I got my insurance from her. I reference her in the trans joke about like it's 5, but now we're working on 6.
Yeah.
Like there's small things like that, but I just try not to anything that would like blow up her spot or like
you're also
drag
like
her or whatever.
if you acknowledge that you're married so that the audience knows you're married, but you don't have a ton of jokes about like her.
I
as a
really
person.
don't have a
Like,
lot of marriage jokes. It's
Yeah.
really like, like it's still all my stuff is still very personal and stuff to me. But yeah, but I just think it's so interesting because I think once you because there's a lot of time where like, you know, like I like from 25 to 30, I was generally like off and on, obviously like a single dude doing comedy. I was like way less heavy than I am now. Like I wasn't wearing glasses. Like I just was more I was more confident
Mhm.
physically in myself. I was out there doing stand up and like joking and like flirting, having fun and
Yeah.
stuff. And then like as I got older, I also had a little bit of the like, no, I don't really know if I want to evolve. Like I don't want to get
Yeah.
older. It's the absolute best thing that's ever happened to me. Like I
Yeah.
don't think you should be nervous about it because I do think that like hopefully we're getting into a different era where it's like your audience is gonna grow with you.
Yeah.
And they want to see that different stuff. Like they want to see the gross hot girl that is now a gross hot wife.
It is true that
Yeah.
like
a hot
the
gross
longevity-
adult.
Yeah.
excusing the small current following numbers and that kind of thing, like the longevity of your career, the fans who are going to go to your tours for years to come and
Yeah.
show it to their friends and all that kind of stuff are gonna they do just like you as an individual
Yes.
through whatever journey you're on.
Yes.
And I would hope kind of the same for me, but it is just so different. Like I it's not that common necessarily for male followers to
Yeah.
get female followers male comedians to get female followers for the wrong reasons.
Yes.
I do have a lot of that.
Yeah.
And they do unfollow me quickly. Like I'll get a DM from a girl and leave it unread. A week later, I guarantee you, she's unfollowed me because I didn't
Yeah.
respond to her DM.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, for me, I'm like, those people aren't buying tickets. I don't care about them. Like,
Yeah, all I care about is because I totally get that too. And I used to be like, what is the lane? Like what? And I'm still trying to figure out
Yeah.
what lane I'm in. And you'd like, oh, the lane changes because for a long time I was like, all right, well, like I was a guy that was talking about his dead dad. I was the dead dad guy. Like I had because that's a chunk of material I worked on for a year. And it's like, oh, I was a guy that only talked about teaching stuff. And then I talk about like being like a progressive Southerner, like all this, all the, like I'll find out what it is. And then I've slowly realized that like off the Kevin Hart show, I think my thing is it's just you as an individual. Like it is
Yeah.
just like
your lane is Winston.
it's Winston.
Yeah.
My lane is Winston. My lane is like, hey, he's a guy that's can speak his mind about social issues, political issues, and will try to not alienate people. He's a guy that like, he's always trying to have a good time. And then I'm like genuine. So
Yeah.
that's like I
Yeah.
realized off the show, people really appreciated the being genuine, like the stuff that would feel cringe if it wasn't actually sincere type of stuff about like I'm happy to be here. I love doing stand up, and people like when I talk comedy, and they like to hear and they like to have conversations and stuff with me after the show. But I think I don't know. I think you should, as nerve-wracking as it be, just continue to like embrace it and
Yeah.
and I think if you embraced it and like having like high quality production stuff from Jack and like working together, I'm just excited to see like. because that's what I want for people that open for me. Is it's like I feel so blessed and lucky to be like headlining now, but I know that when I was featuring for people, my mindset was like, how do I get to this headlining spot?
Yeah.
And it's like, and I think it's the just literally trying to get as many followers as you can
It's
while
funny
working
though,
on
you
your
know where
acting
I'm
stuff.
at right now with featuring is like literally just I want to almost just make sure I'm good enough to where the headliner doesn't even really think about it. Like either they're like, wow, that was really good, or they're like, that was a great show. Like it's not weird that you're here. You're a normal comedian at this level.
That's
Like that's
funny.
kind of what I want. Like even when I'm on your shows, like I do bring a little bit of a different gusto to it, I guess. I'm throwing a little extra chutzpah in there.
You're
Trying
trying.
to like
You're trying.
I just don't want to
You're trying.
it feels like it's rude to
not
take
try.
risks
Yeah.
on your shows. Rather than if it was
Yeah,
my
it's interesting.
show,
I think it's less that it's rude
and
and it's more just stupid. Like I don't like I
well, it's
wouldn't
rude
think
because
it's
it's risky. Is my
but
point.
my thing is like to me, but I wouldn't take it as rude. To me personally, I wouldn't take trying something as rude, because I said to most people, there is, there's literally nothing an opener can do that will affect my set at all. Like
Yeah.
my
once,
set.
once you're on stage.
No, I'm saying no, but I'm saying like once because it's like I like if a person kills incredibly hard, like I'll follow people murdering so hard, it's not gonna like my set's gonna be fine. Like
Yeah.
you can bomb. Literally the only thing someone could do is that it's a white comic saying the N word, like literally,
Yeah.
because that
Yeah.
will shut the show down.
And I am sorry about that.
Yeah, but that's literally
so
it. But it's
hacky.
like, but I want people open for me to have the freedom of like yeah, the only thing I think is rude is like if someone just got up and they just did crowd work for 30 minutes. Like
Yeah.
that would be rude because now it's like now I have to watch the whole set. Now I can't be in my head, and now I'm in my head. I can't be like thinking about my set, and I also like now have to like kind of have to do a lot of work at the beginning to get to. But whatever someone does where I can still get up and just do my act or say, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I think it's fine. So on the rude thing, I don't think it's rude for anyone, you, Jack, or any of my openers who have been lucky enough to work with to like try something new. I just think it's more dumb for your career to like be in a situation where you're featuring in a club and
Yeah.
not just try to murder.
Not just do
Well,
like your
that's-
best set.
So that's- but, like,
That,
yes.
that is like what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm wording a little differently. I don't really think about like killing as an option.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll kill this time, like
Yeah.
the way you do, and
Yeah.
you're pulling it off. And I've never really understood that part to be like, oh, I'm gonna kill here. Because
Yeah, yeah.
my thing is, I always want to kill,
Yeah.
and sometimes I'm trying to kill, but trying to kill doesn't
think he's
get
ever
me to
trying.
kill it. I just mean like,
It's just a mindset.
yeah, but mindset. We're working with different minds, so it's like the
Yeah.
different sets. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like
So like when you get on stage and it's like so every time you're performing you're trying to kill.
sometimes I'm trying to find something. Sometimes
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
trying to
But like
learn something about a joke,
Yeah, yeah.
and prioritizing that. So
Yeah.
not featuring sets.
But like if it was like, hey, you have to go up and you have to kill. When I tell you that, it doesn't click in your mind what you would have to do.
it basically just means that I just do the jokes that I know are good already.
Okay, but it's not your brain doesn't automatically go to like, all right, well, like I'm gonna drop the tags that don't always work. Like, oh, I know that like I can tell from this crowd stuff that they liked. Cause
Oh no, a bit of that. I'll crop off the third section of a joke that doesn't really land as hard as the second section, like that kind of thing.
Because
I'll
to
do.
me, I think that like I do think like when you get to a certain point, like killing is just a thing that you can do. Like
Yeah.
it is just a thing you learn how to do. It's a different mindset where it's like to me, it's like if I got on stage and it was like, man, you really like we actively need you to try to murder. It's like okay, well, I know what opener I'm gonna do. I like based on like all right, the crowds didn't like this stuff, so we're either all right. I'm going to the mind of like all right, they want dirty, so it's gonna be dirty. Like oh, they want to be talked to, so it's gonna be crowd worked. Or like okay, well, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna follow this. I'll call off this other person's joke. I know what jokes I'm gonna do. Even my best jokes, I'm like I'm eliminating every tag that is questionable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like any tag that doesn't work 100% of the time. So it's like all right,
Even
I'm
on
doing.
the fly. If I say a line that normally gets a big pop
Yeah.
and it gets a medium pop, I go, okay, the joke's done.
Yeah.
It ends there.
And just
Yeah.
trying to like find that out. But that's what's interesting to me because it's just like that for like you're saying with your mind and stuff for you trying to figure like do you know like if you were like hey you have to kill do you like how does your brain like
Yeah.
turn into that?
Yeah.
Because to me it's literally a switch. Like I wish I could explain it where it literally is just like this weekend 4 of the 5 shows in Baltimore like were things where I was like, I just kind of knew I was like, oh, we're gonna have fun. It's gonna be good. I know I'm gonna kill. It's gonna be great. And then the one with like 20 people was like, I had to turn on the switch of like, I have to set up the bit board.
Mm-hmm.
I want these people to get a great show, and I have to be like all gas, no breaks for like an hour 20. Like
Yeah.
that's just what it has to be. So for you, what is it a switch? Is it a you're just doing the jokes you think work the best, just putting yourself in the best, like, you know, the best position to try to succeed, or like what do you feel
Yeah.
for you when it's like that,
I
or
think
do you even think about comedy like that?
it's definitely like I'm just doing like the best jokes that I have. If it's like,
Yeah.
okay, especially like if I'm like featuring for you
Yeah.
or someone else, where it's like, okay, this is like a paid club set.
Yeah.
It's like not the time to try anything that's
Yeah.
like experimental right now. Like doing those, and then I do think it's like I'm like surprised. Sometimes I'm surprised and disappointed by how much I'm not just like putting my whole pussy into the performance
Yeah.
in other places.
That's the other
When
thing.
I'm like, or do you ever like you can tell that you're really like you're making eye contact with like every person in there. You're
Yeah.
really like trying to get
Yeah.
your point across in the performance,
Yeah.
and like just doing it full send.
Yeah.
And you're like, I am not doing this every night.
Yeah, not doing it
Like,
every night. Where you're like, and to me, that's the kill switch. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm selling everything the best way I can sell it. We're only doing the best lines in the joke.
Mhm.
Where I'm changing my vocalization more.
Yeah.
There's times where it's like, and also the other thing is like, when it's Killboat, it's like we're doing every trick. Like I have
Yeah.
like there are things in every comedian's tool belt that are like tricks, and I have like a dozen. I have like a dozen that these are the tricks. These are like, this show's not great. These people might not like me. We're doing all the tricks, and then we'll go into a great bit, trick into the great bit or whatever. But like, yeah, this thing is so interesting where people, this is the way they think about like, you can just go into it or trying to figure out how to get to that, to get to that space.
You know,
The worst is
Sorry, go ahead.
the worst is when I know that I'm doing that, and then it still doesn't work. Like I'm
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
oh my god, like they really need a little extra oomph, and so I give it to them, and then they still don't like it, and I'm like, well, that's all I got. Like, I guess I'll kill myself. Like, I don't know.
It does suck when you realize that your material is the problem.
yeah. I'm like, well, like this is the material I have. Like, I can do it with like more like.
But the best
You
comics
like
in the
this,
world
but, like,
do bomb if
yeah.
they're not performing for just their audience. So
Yeah.
it's like not that crazy. But I'm realizing too. I think truly my switch, whatever that is that I'm flipping, I truly like when I'm crushing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because the chicken or the egg.
Yeah.
I'm having fun. We're
Yeah, yeah.
all in on the joke.
Yeah.
I'm ridiculous and I know it, and I'm kind of sorry. Like that's kind of like
Yeah.
when I giggle on stage. I use it as a trick.
Yeah.
It took years to figure it. It sounds stupid, but it's like if you're a new comic, you shouldn't be laughing at your own jokes. But eventually, you can develop methods and stuff. And
Yeah.
giggling is something that happens very naturally for me when I'm doing really well, and it
Yeah.
always works well. And it started getting laughs. So if I'm faking the giggles, it's not the same as if I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
make yourself have fun. Having fun is the most important
Well,
part
that's
to
where
doing
the
it.
risk taking comes into play, though. If I do something really stupid up front, I think it's funny.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't work with them, that usually will set me up better for the rest of the set in a weird way. But
That's crazy.
sometimes that shit works right away too, and then it's like, oh, this is a good crowd for
Yeah.
me, But like in the Richmond shows, I was doing all the weird shit.
Yeah.
I was
right.
starting weird. I was doing all the extra looks at people and stuff, and like drawing out jokes and doing extra tags and shit, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
But sometimes it doesn't work out like that. I guess.
Yeah. No, man, I think it's just yeah, and I think picking your battles, knowing when to like, because in my mind everything's really segmented in like what shows I try new shit at, which shows
Yeah.
I do this at, and then you do just literally get to a point to where it's like, to me, I think that I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase this is like, for me, doing something new is no longer a risk. Like I think that's
Yeah.
kind of like we've gotten to the point now where it's like, if I'm on a show and I'm crushing, like that early show last night in Baltimore, the early show Saturday was sold out, and I was killing so hard that was like, I think I did 10 to 15 new tags and lines on like every, and I had like a big act out I'd never done before, and I tried like a whole new bit on it.
Yeah.
And it was all stuff where like, but at no point did it feel like a risk.
Well, do you think of when I say risk? Are you thinking like risking that joke doesn't work, or risking that your set is fucked up because of that joke?
Set that it might fuck up the set.
I'm not too worried about that because I can dig myself out of holes.
Yeah.
Pretty well.
But I think you're at the point where it's not like you're gonna say anything that just like literally flops
Yeah, we're
completely.
not gonna ruin the show.
It might be something that you don't love, and you're
Yeah.
like, well, I don't know if that's
Yeah,
worth
because
keeping, but
because
like,
when I'm in the pocket, there, when I'm trying something new, there's never like a question of if it's gonna work or not. I think that's the other thing. Is it's just
I
like
will just my track record with new jokes is very good.
Yeah.
and I don't know if I trust it all the time,
Yeah.
but it seems to be.
But I think that's mine. Is mine is like, and I think it's just from doing it a ton and doing it a lot that like now I'm at just at a point where, especially when you're headlining in front of people that want to see you, that it's just like I'm going in there, and if the crowd is good from the start and everyone's doing well, and I'm having a hot one, there literally is just moments where I'm just like, oh, I feel like I've just been given the green light, and we're gonna do whatever, and there's just never. Like, I'm not even thinking like, oh, this joke might not work. I'm just like, this shit is gonna work.
you also kind of have to be like that right now because you're like,
It's psychotic. It's
you
like
have to,
literally
like,
mentally ill.
Well, you have to like you're like touring, you're getting like tons of like headlining opportunities, and you have less time to be like, oh, I gotta try this out at the open
know,
mic.
man.
Like
You
you
gotta
have to
develop.
be able
I
to just
know.
try
Like,
it.
I'm going to 2 shows
like-
tonight. I should have taken off, and I'm going up every night this week, and
That's mental illness.
it is. It's not good. It's bad, man. But the Baltimore shows are great. You did great.
They were
Jack,
awesome.
Jack did well in
They
the
were
2
really fun.
shows.
not great, but
You did well though.
I like Baltimore.
You had I mean, that early show last night was super hot. You did really well on the Thursday. What show did you like the best outside of the early show last night? Because that was by far the best
Yeah,
show.
that was definitely just like the best show objectively.
From top to bottom, objectively, like, yeah, they say comedy's subjective. Not this weekend. It was subjective of like, this is the best one where everyone kind of brought it. I also think when a crowd's already really good, it's easier to bring it.
Yeah.
Like
Of
Yeah.
but that's another thing that goes back to the thing of killing, which is you have to like lock into I'm going to do all the stuff that even if they don't like it, you can't lose like how you're saying, like, you'll do your best thing and they're like, oh, I guess they hate me.
Yeah.
You're just locked in to be like, I'll feel sorry about myself when this set's over, no matter how they react.
Yeah.
Like that's
Right.
that's part of it.
I
But
would
like,
rather know that I did like
Yes.
everything I could.
we did.
We did a Church of Satire
about to
in
say.
Nice, how's that?
Pennsylvania. It was fun. It was not amazingly attended,
oh,
and they were kind
Wasn't
of
it
like quiet.
It was like
So it wasn't like a
It was
theater?
like 7
Nah.
people over the age of 50.
but it wasn't like a
Yeah.
theater in Massachusetts.
No, it wasn't.
He was, he was supposed to go with me to do a guest spot at this theater in
Oh, yeah.
Massachusetts. It was so funny, and
we
he's
were
like,
yeah, you probably should have just done that instead.
It crossed my mind, especially because I looked at your story that night while I was like just got off stage, like after
Abe
like,
had a
eating
hot
shit.
one too, man. That's one of the best sets I've seen Abe have.
Well,
Like,
it's easy when
Oh,
you're.
yeah.
It's a great show. And
yeah, he went up, but he like really.
Nothing against Abe.
But it's just fun because like I think Abe's really really funny, but Abe is in the similar boat to you about in the taking risks in situations where maybe you shouldn't take risks because. Just because it's fun to do, like, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
and
it's,
like,
like,
but
more
he
fun
like,
for
but
him.
he locked in, and he had like a really good like
don't
front
like him.
to back
I'm not
set or
surprised
whatever.
at all.
Yeah, I'm not either, but it was the
some
thing.
of my favorite bits.
Me too, but it's just so fun to see it. It's fun to like see it live. You know what I mean? Like, oh, and like he
Yeah.
did it. He rose and
Yeah.
like he thought he'd think about a set all day. Because I told him, I was like, hey man, you might Because here's the other thing: is I got there and they asked him how long he wanted to do. You probably could have come and done 20. Like it's I wasn't gonna tell you that.
How did we
until
get on this? What were we talking about?
I wasn't gonna tell that to you, but because initially it was gonna be like a 5 to 7 minute guest spot. It's like, yeah, you didn't want to drive up, and like we drove up.
For
and
the
drove,
record, driving
Yeah.
up to Massachusetts
Yeah.
for a guest
It was
spot.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
An unpaid
But-
guest
You-
spot.
but that's the
Very
difference. Is like
beautiful drive.
but that's what I told you I
yeah.
was gonna pay you.
Fair.
I did say, I said, I'll pay you to film this one. I will. Like I said, I'll give you money to film it. We have a place to stay. We drove up and drove back that night.
Oh, you drove back that night? Was that the plan the whole time?
No, we had a place to stay, but he got
Well,
up.
isn't that the reason I couldn't go because I had to shoot an engagement.
Yeah. But I said, we'll get back early. We should whatever. I said, but we went up and we came back that night because the show ended early enough to do it.
Anyway.
It ended early enough to drive back from
I
Massachusetts.
got home at
9-hour
3:30 in the
drive.
morning. It was 6 hours.
Oh, easy.
It was 6.5 hours.
Yeah, you're insane. Wait,
I was
the Church
locked in,
Satire
and he
thing,
didn't have
though.
to drive. And he didn't have to drive at all. I
That's
drove the whole
pretty nice.
time.
This is a good
I was
example.
locked
He'd be falling
in.
asleep.
I'm trying to get away from this.
Yeah.
This is a good example. So on that show,
And then Abe found $1,000. They found $1,000 inside of Heidi Klum's vagina. It was crazy. She was there too.
In Boston, Massachusetts.
Wait, what
In
was
Boston.
okay, in the Church of Satire show,
Yeah.
Matilda went first.
I've heard that club is really fun and great.
Oh,
I've
it's
never
cool.
gotten
The
to do it.
room's
Yeah,
not the problem.
yeah.
It was like a
Just
headliner.
for people
who wasn't-
listening, I was
it was
just
just small.
making
Yeah.
Jack feel bad.
If you
'cause he
could
had an
sell out,
opportunity.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Matilda went first, and she's better at this than I am. She committed to her delivery as if it was a good show.
Yes, you
in
have
the same
to.
way,
Yeah.
maybe slightly different, but in the similar way.
Yeah.
I got up and was so kind of like right away these people aren't understanding
Yeah.
my sense of humor. So I immediately was like, I can talk to them and I can make that
Was
funny.
it a
Let me make that
showcase where
work.
who was headlining? What was the
Bob Holden.
Okay, Bob Holden. Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
just the three of us.
that was a cool dude.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
Bob.
was fun.
And he's practicing headlining, right? So it was like
Yeah.
a good opportunity, but he can't sell tickets there. I don't know who can
Yeah.
really, but
Yeah,
and I like struggled for like 30 straight minutes. Now we kind of all none of us had like a great set,
yeah,
but actually Bob's set was pretty good.
Yeah.
But he also performs in Florida constantly, and that's the exact same demo,
yeah.
which is a weird, interesting thing. Because when I went to Florida, I was bombing all over the city. But
yeah, it was a good like opportunity to just be like, okay, I'm giving this everything I got,
Right.
even though there's
Yeah,
like
but I
do
didn't
it.
10
do that.
people in here who like do not get my thing. Like
I treated it like it was an open mic
Yeah,
for 30 minutes, and it was a huge mistake.
yeah.
And I couldn't really get back into my vibe because I can't really switch back and forth between my like kind of comedy tone and my
Yeah.
like natural, slightly more natural tone, unless it's going well, and then I kind of go in and out a little bit here and there. But like with this one, it was like they were like, because I came out nervous, which is kind of my thing.
Yeah.
And they were like, this poor boy.
Yeah, it's so
It wasn't
funny.
funny to them. It was like,
That's
oh
very
no.
That's so
troubling.
funny.
Troubling
Damn,
boy.
dude, it's
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah,
as hell.
it was bizarre.
Damn.
But yeah, I thought I think the Thursday show might
Yes.
have been my favorite.
Thursday
actually.
was fun as
Thursday
shit,
was really
man.
fun, and I like wasn't. It's not that I wasn't expecting it. I think it was just like I don't. Sometimes I'm like, okay, it's Thursday night. I drove up, not
Yeah.
far, but like you kind of go into
Yeah.
it like, all right, here we go. We're going into the show.
We
And
go up
then
as like
they
it's
were just,
Thursday,
like-
40 people, but they were so about it.
yeah,
Those
They were
I
awesome.
think that. So what I think happened is for that Thursday show, because when you start doing multiple shows, that I've learned like in the same city is like you get similar types of people going to. Like you're gonna get the most people generally early show Saturday.
Yeah.
Like that just is kind of like it happens a lot. Usually late show Friday, late show Saturday is gonna be the least attended one. Late show Saturday is usually gonna be the drunkest one.
Yep.
But it's also like Thursday. It's people that are like, hey, I really want to see you, but I have work this weekend.
yeah.
So it's
yeah.
people that are like really excited to be out. People that were like, because I had a bunch of people come up and just like, this is the only night I could come see you. I'm so
Yeah.
excited to be here.
It's like when you go to a matinee at like 2 p.m.
Yeah,
and everyone there is like, this movie means a lot. To
means
me.
a lot to
Yeah.
me, and that's kind of what it was. It just was so fun, man. That late show Saturday was the most insane show of the tour.
Yeah, what
damn it.
happened?
So like, it's not insane. Like the crowd was hot and it was really good. Like you had a good set on the late show
Yeah, they were
Saturday,
cool.
but there were people that were like absolutely wasted.
Oh, like
And
that.
so I went up and I did my first 10 minutes. And then at minute 10, I just was like, oh, let me riff on Baltimore for 1 second. And I riffed on how that area at night, apparently, like, they block off the roads.
Yeah.
And so I did a joke about blocking off the roads where I was just like, what's going on here? And then, like, a lady in the audience goes, oh, it's because you're in Bodymore. You're in Bodymore, Bodymore, Murderland.
Oh.
What's funny is that you said she goes.
She goes, yeah, I'm sorry. She goes, Bodymore, Murderland. That's where, and I was like, okay. And so we start riffing on that. And then that lady is just involved the entire
right.
show now.
It's her show now.
Whole time she's yelling stuff, doing stuff crazy, and I'm trying to make jokes about her, and then her boyfriend, fiance, just like long-term significant other. I don't think they're engaged, but like he starts saying, and then he says that like his job is he's a wedding photographer. Clap photography, clap with 2 P's, and so I'm making jokes about him spelling it wrong, and then he says that's his last name, and he saes I'm Irish, and he's one of the blackest guys I've ever seen in my life. And so we
Okay.
make like a big he's like I chat GPT'd my lineage, and they said I was Irish. So there's just so many crazy stuff's happening, and so the riffs are happening, and so but it's not combative. It's like a really fun moment,
Yeah.
but there is no going back to jokes because if I go back to jokes, she's not going to stop, and then they're going to get thrown out.
Yeah. Were they like
Yes.
11 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
yeah. No. So on your stage, no, it's this one. That couple here was
Oh,
great.
really? Oh,
That
okay.
couple here was like they were
'Cause
really, really fun.
That couple was really drunk, and I think she like spilled a drink. And
Yeah,
the
but they were
security
chilled
guard
out. It
had
was
to-
this couple,
okay.
but here's the thing: they were fun. It was a good time. I kept checking in with the audience to make sure everyone's like having a good time. But like they're yelling stuff, and it was one where it was like, even though it was not combative, I had to bring the quickness that I bring when it is combative because I was like, this woman's pretty funny. I have to be funnier than her.
Yeah.
So like I have to turn her words around to her a little bit, and like she's doing something, and we're getting these huge laughs and fun laughs. But it was one of those things where it's like it's actively happening, and I'm like, everyone's having fun. We have to be locked in on this. It has to continue to go. We can't really pivot back to jokes because I don't know if I can get the point across that like, oh, we've done that. We can't do it anymore because she's still having a good time and we are having fun. And like I'm like, I didn't want the security to get involved or whatever. So we just kept going, and it's just like, boom, everything's crushing. There's all this stuff going. I was like, when he said the thing about like he chat GPT'd his lineage, I was like, oh, it's crazy. I chat GPT'd my last name. It's technically Wakandan. And like, that's like, like people are losing their minds. People are like standing up and yelling. I'm making like Bodymore Murderland jokes.
But you're like walking the tightrope.
Dude, it's like, it's like really nuts how like, and they're just dying. And I kept like, he said with 2 P's, and I started talking about autism. I was like, you got autism with 2 P's? Like that. But it was like a thing where it really became like this big thing. And it was weird because it was 10 minutes of jokes, literally 30 minutes of crowd work. It was like 30 straight.
Were we talking to other people too? Like just talking to everybody?
A little bit, but not a lot. It was mostly riffing on what was happening for 30 minutes.
Going back into it.
Yeah, and then talking like a few other people and talking about like how these other people think you're crazy, man. Blah blah. And trying to do it, and then checking in with other folks in the back to make sure like, are you having fun? Is this a good time? And everyone's like, yeah. It's like, like we would love to hear some jokes, but we get it. Like that's what some people came up afterwards. And then it was like, and then I did my jokes about being on the show because everyone in that room had seen me on Netflix,
Right.
and then I closed on
People
a dirty
love that.
joke. They really do.
They really do.
And then and I'm so glad that I found a way to make the jokes like actual jokes. Like, because it was killing me the first couple times when I was doing, because I would just do a Q&A like the first few times for like 10 minutes in the show. And then I started getting the same questions, and we started getting the same questions. I'm just like, ooh, I responded to this in a funny way last time. Let me try that. And then now it's just the 10 minutes,
like built
10
into
to
the
10 to 12
material.
minutes of like, these are just
in fact, the way I saw you do it is like I was asking these questions, or I was like opening up to the audience, but they kept asking the same questions, so I wrote some jokes about it.
Yes.
And like that was the honest, because
Yeah.
you could have also just seemed like a champion.
Yeah.
and pretended like you were riffing it all.
Yep,
But
exactly.
having a hilarious heckler or disruptive audience member is truly one of the rare like beauties of stand-up. Like,
yes.
And my method of handling it,
Because
I've
they
only done it a
weren't
few
mean-spirited
times.
either. They
No.
weren't being mean to me. She goes, "We love you."
Right.
And then she was loving everything I was saying. Like I would hit her with like a small little roast, and she'd be like dancing. She was like holding her drink in the air and like dancing and
Just
stuff.
an actual funny person.
We were
Yeah.
actually like having a genuine good time. But it was the type of thing where like sometimes you can be having fun with a heckler like that, but other people are really done with it. And there was
Yeah.
one dude stage left, young guy with the hat.
Mm.
He was like in the second row, and he looked furious during the show. And then every now and then he'd start laughing, and then after the show he comes up, he goes, like, I walk off stage and he grabs me and he goes, "I am so fucking sorry you had to deal with that." He's like, "But it was incredible what you did." But like it was the type of thing like in the
wanted to hear
line.
material.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Like everyone in the line that come up afterwards, it was all people being like, "That's the funniest thing I've ever seen," mixed with other people being like, "We would have loved to have heard more jokes, but it was kind of amazing to watch you like actually handle that."
Yeah.
Like in a way. And I was making jokes about I was riffing other jokes about the show where like it was killing so hard with the stuff, and I was like, why the hell weren't you at the contest? I would have won, and like that
Yeah.
like murdered, and like it was like a thing, but it was pure insanity it was the only show I didn't do an hour. Like I did 45 minutes on the dot because in those situations you really can't like every time another thing works, it's a miracle. Like, because
Yeah.
eventually something's not going to work, and then that person might get the upper hand. And it's like, so the moment that boom, 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 I was like, let me end on a dirty joke. I think you guys like dirty jokes, and I end on the dirty one, and it popped off huge. And I was like, thanks, guys, that's good
Yeah.
night. Because I think as a comic, when you're killing, even in like a dangerous situation like that, like dangerous in terms of like
Yeah.
it can go off the rails at any moment, there is the fear of like, oh man, like, if the last thing doesn't work and you just get greedy. You're like, what's the next thing? I want to do another 10 minutes.
Trying to leave on a laugh is like a
It's
haunting
brutal.
thing.
So my thing is like anytime I'm doing all crowd work show or like a show where it is this type of thing, I leave on the biggest laugh after 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. And I think I did 46 and a half last night.
I have a closer right now that I get off on a different line almost every time I do it.
Yeah.
Because it's just like that line hit, I'm out.
Damn.
Bye.
Don't know if the next one's gonna work as well.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I've just been
That's
doing
kind
that.
of fun though for like people who came to see you for material
Yeah.
or because they saw you on the show, like get to see you showcase a
Other
different
things,
skill.
yeah.
And it's like they then they'll come to a future show because
Yes.
they're like, well, we didn't really get to see him do
I
any
know,
material,
and they'll
or,
come
like,
and
they'll
do
watch
the
you
meet and greet
online.
line, and it's so fun because I think because I do the meet and greet line, I got to apologize to all those people. We're like, because I got to be like, hey, I'm really sorry. I said, I hope you had fun. I said, I'm sorry if you didn't get to see the jokes or whatever. They're like, oh, we're definitely going to come back. They're like,
Yeah.
that was crazy. It just was a really, really psychotic good time. But what a great weekend. The Poor Comedy Club in Baltimore is amazing.
It's a
I mean,
fun
it's a
spot.
great club. It's so fun.
Cool area.
The area is really cool. I can't wait to be back next year. Like, I'm super, super excited about it. But you did a great job all weekend.
Thank you.
You did a really good
I had a
job.
blast.
We wish we could have had Jack for some of the other shows and stuff, but he did a really
They were
good
great.
job on the two he was there for.
You have just such a fun audience. Like,
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been pretty.
bring out
I'm
really
kind of
cool people.
surprised by how much I like his audience.
Yeah, I'm surprised by how much they like you.
Maybe that's really what I'm saying. Because that's all I need to like them.
Yeah.
is if they like me. But
I got a good crowd, man. I've been trying to figure out what my crowd is, and I found out it's a mix of it's three people. It is people that have been fans of me for a really, really, really long time. I did have a small section of people that were so excited to see me on the show, followed me, see me, whatever. It is then people that are huge stand-up comedy fans because they're a huge stand-up comedy fan, so they watched Kevin Hart because it's a show about stand-up.
Right.
So it's like I have people come up, they're like, oh, I've seen so-and-so. Like, I've had people be like, oh, I just saw Soder, I just saw Boom, 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 you're great, you're up there, like, you're one of my favorites, like, stuff like that. And then the other third is people that found out they liked stand-up comedy because of that show.
yeah.
Like, I had multiple people on every show come up and be like, this is the first time I've ever been to a stand-up comedy show.
Really?
Yes. Like, never seen it before, didn't know they liked stand-up, they had no clue, saw the show and decided, hey, maybe I do like stand-up. And it's so awesome because a lot of times you think people that have never seen stand-up before might not like stand-up.
Yeah.
But because they're seeing stand-up for the first time because they liked a stand-up comedy show,
Yeah.
it's like I'm becoming some people's first favorite comic.
Yeah.
That's really
Which
fun.
is really I'm getting choked up even thinking about it because that's not a thing you think you ever hit. But it's but I mean, I got a crazy nice DM from a lady in Canada that I got before we started doing this episode, and she sent me this huge long paragraph, and she's like, "You're basically saying I'm her favorite comic in the world, and she can't wait to come to the show and to bring her wife and all this shit." And it's a thing that you think you would never ever get to that point in your life, and not only do you get to it, but it's it's happening a couple times every night. There's a couple times people coming up being like, this is the first comedy show I ever saw. I want to see more stand-up.
Yeah.
And it's getting people into stand-up is as someone that loves stand-up more than anything, it is it's literally unbelievable. I wish I could explain how it makes me feel.
Yeah.
I was just
It's really
remembering-
special.
Do you remember when we did what's the comedy club in Stanford? Sanford?
New York
So,
Comedy
yeah,
Club.
New York
Comedy
Comedy
Club?
Club.
Great club. Also,
I'll be
Fucking-
headlining
it's
there
a
next year.
Sick
yeah?
room.
Yeah.
The room is so perfect.
I can't wait.
Truly, it's
really
one of the
nice.
best rooms.
Yeah.
But we did this
Is
random
that
kind
close
of
to where your
showcase.
parents live?
We did it was a Jewish show.
When I
right?
when I do it next year, I'll bring you guys and we
Oh,
can
yeah.
just go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
and we'll stay at your
Yeah,
parents.
it's right around the corner.
Yeah.
See my parents. They'll come.
We did a Jewish
Be fun.
show, and this girl came to see me there. This is kind of right after going viral, so I had some
Yeah.
people coming to shows occasionally. She came to see me, and she comes up to me after the show, and she goes, I just wanted to say, you're my favorite comic. I came here to see you. Can we take a picture? And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, of course. But I was so why am I your favorite comic? What you don't like stand up? Is that
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Specifically, you just love bug material? What
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
It was so weird to me. And I've only heard that a few times, but when I hear that, it's usually from people basically painting the picture of, I don't like stand up, but I like what you do.
Yeah.
And to me, that means, I don't know if
And
what
it's
that
also,
means.
man, it's just people, and this is not negative towards you or anybody, but it's people don't pick their tastes. So you shouldn't feel oh, why does
Yeah.
somebody,
Right.
you know what I mean? Because to me, it's a thing that I was struggling with for a long time. People was I'm their favorite comic or whatever. But then after being on the show and having just so much outpouring of love that I'm so grateful for, but people just coming up and actively being yeah, man, you're one of my favorites. And it's I love this bit and I love that stuff. And I'm putting myself in that shoe about they're talking to me the way that I would talk to the people that I loved when I was younger, and just trying to find a way to enjoy it and not feel because I'm also not the best at taking compliments. So it's
Yeah.
trying to
hard.
find a space to be in, because I try to be as humble as possible or whatever, because I see how some of this, because even the small modicum of success, you can see how it can change people. And it's I'm so very hyper aware of trying really hard to just be I just need to enjoy this and it's fun and the shit can go away. but like you don't want to be like a fucking asshole.
When we were at your mom's house,
Yeah.
I said something about how I taught Pat everything I know. Like
Yeah.
he was the host of the shows we were doing. I was like, I taught him everything he knows. And your mom goes, "Go ahead and eat your humble pie, sweetie."
That's
And
so
then something
damn
about
funny.
being Jewish. Or
Yeah. So yeah. Well, damn, man, this was a fun one, man. Thanks for coming back second week in a row. Thanks for changing. Second week in a row.
Same
came back.
outfit.
Say exact same outfit. But yeah, if you want to see Matilda and Jack, you know they're going to be with me on some tour dates. We're going to get Matilda on some more stuff in 2027. We got Jack's going to be with me in I think Raleigh and Charleston and upstate New York and some stuff like that. And it's going to be a lot of fun, man. But thanks for coming on the show again,
I'm
Matilda.
super grateful for you to have me here and
Yeah, it's
have me on the
fun.
road with you. You've given me like, you know, my first really exciting like road, a taste of the road.
We got to get
that's,
you
like,
back on the road some more because you guys are
so
both at the point
awesome.
where you guys
Like-
should just be doing some of the road stuff on your own.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I need to get out of DC a little bit.
Yeah, you got. I think you do. I think you'll see.
People realize I'm funny when I leave here.
Yeah,
It's great.
and the road is a great place to see like that what you're doing is like it's on the right track. But
Yeah.
we'll catch you next time. Check out
Bye.
my tour dates. We love you. Bye.